All right, YouTube family, what is up? So I think there's no better way to start off your 2025. I mean, we are a little bit over halfway into January. And I think the best way to actually start and help you kickstart your 2025 and help you crush it in this first quarter. Because I believe that if you want to end your year strong, you got to start off strong. So I got Jenna to jump on. And today she said she wants to surprise me and show you guys exactly how you can wholesale completely virtual with very little capital at all. So I'll let Jenna take over.
So you're just throwing me right to it, man.
Yep.
So hopefully everybody's had a good couple weeks. I haven't got to see everybody since you've been jet setting and vacationing. It seems like for 2 months straight. But what we're going to talk about today, guys, first off, we're here to talk about our software. We're here to talk about how you guys can automate your business, make it easier, find your deals, because obviously you know that whether you do your marketing or outsource it to somebody else, marketing has to happen. Like that's a critical part in your business because no leads mean no deals, and no deals mean obviously no income. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about ways that we can try to find deals. And this is something, Khang, when I said I wanted to surprise you, I was going to show you some new leads, some new types that I've been searching for that are really not really anybody else's, I would think, is searching for. And because of that, it gives us an opportunity, and it's going to give us an opportunity to make deals out of deals that would not have ordinarily been a deal. And so what I mean by that is, like, first off, we need to get a little bit creative. We need to put our thinking caps on whenever we talk about this, because we're going to be targeting people that maybe are not our ideal type of a client. Let's talk about wholesaling in general. So like in an ideal world, I mean, it would be ideal if we could find somebody who has a property that there's some level of distress, whether they're behind on a payment or they're delinquent on taxes or something like that. And let's say that they have some equity in it. And so we can lock down this property at a below market value. And then obviously we can increase the fee, and then, we'll wholesale it to our end buyer, and we'll make our little spread in between, or sell your contract or assign it depending on which way you're going to wholesale it. Now that's in an ideal world. But what would happen, Khang, if you had somebody who calls you and they're crying and they're like, look, I have this $300,000 house. I owe $280,000 on it. I'm behind on payments. I need to get out of it right now. The bank's going to take it in 30 days. And what am I going to do? And in most cases, most investors would look at that and be like, man, well, that's not a deal. Like, I can't get it for 280 and then try to mark it up and then try to wholesale it because it's only worth 300K. So most people would walk away from that. And also most people are not targeting that kind of a lead, because why would somebody want to target somebody who's either upside down or doesn't have much equity in it? And that's where we're going to excel at that, because what if you could take that lead? And I know we've talked in the past a little bit about subject to. And we're not getting into the weeds of subject to, but we're basically going to take subject to and we're going to marry it with wholesaling today. And it's going to basically have a baby, and it's going to be your software. And that's what it's going to be. So what if you could take that deal, and what if you can basically talk to them and take over their mortgage payments? Because for those of you who are like, what the heck is subject to? That sounds like another language. Are they speaking Vietnamese on this call? So subject to is essentially a creative way of taking ownership of a property while keeping the current person's mortgage in place. It's almost like you're taking their spot in line at Disney World, and all the work has been done for you. They waited in line, and now you're at the top of Space Mountain. And that's really what we're doing. So what if you could come in there? What if you can basically say, look, it'd be instant. I'll take over your payments. I get the deed to the property. And is there stuff that goes along with it? Yes. Is there additional training that you'd probably want to learn a little bit more? Probably, if you're going to do this. But we're just talking about how to find these kind of deals first. Let's hope that we have to worry about structuring them, because that means the word. Yeah. So let's say that we can take this deal, and let's say we can take over their mortgage payment, let's just say of $2,500 a month. But what if it could rent right now today for $3,500? You slap a tenant into that, and it's positive cash flowing. So this is going to be a two-parter. So what if you could take that? First off, I'm sure a lot of you, whether you're wholesalers right now, you may eventually get to the point where you want to be a landlord and have constant passive income. So what if you take 10 of those properties over the next year or two? Would 10,000 be enough to get you out of the job that you probably hate right now? Probably. But here's the kicker of it all. What if you could take that deal where it's positive cash flowing for $1,000 a month. And what if you could package it up with a bow and wholesale that to a wholesaler for 10K or 20K? And now you just took a deal where it was not a wholesale opportunity, and you literally created and crafted a wholesale deal out of a deal that everybody else would have walked away from. And now you have an opportunity to not only wholesale a deal, but now you're including the financing for that end buyer. Like most people would gravitate, like if somebody came to you and they're like, hey, here's this deal, there's nothing really out of your pocket, maybe some closing costs, and it's cash flowing $1,000 every single month. Most people would be like, where do I sign up for that?
So Jenna, you're going to show me that I can wholesale with just $1,000. So technically, for those of you who have $1,000, Jenna, so you telling me that you can show me how to wholesale a house, let's just say in the next 60 days with just $1,000.
Probably show it to you for cheaper than $1,000.
Show me.
You know what? We'll go wild. We'll be elaborate with this $1,000. We'll get some. We'll have dinner. We'll do all this kind of stuff too. And so
dinner sounds good.
Yeah.
Show me, Jenna.
Yeah. So let me get my screen ready here to share it to you.
Okay.
All right. So let's see here. All right. And there's something that is new too. So I did want to, I saved this to show it to you here. This is something new that you probably have not seen. Probably since the last time, guys, that we went live, we have unveiled our new wholesale marketplace. And this is super cool. This is where you guys can come and you can advertise, excuse me, your deals for 30 days. So let's say you get a deal, you lock it up, you get it under contract, and now you want to market it. So you can take your deal and essentially for 30 days, it's $100 where you can come in here, advertise your deal on our marketplace. It's going to showcase in front of thousands of other investors that are just like you, who are coming into the same software to find different deals, and your deal is going to pop up on the top of their screen as soon as they type in your geographic area. So it's going to get you a way to get in front of, it's almost like you're on your own little multi-list advertising in front of all these people. So this is something that is new. So if you wanted to do that, you'll just go into your lead pipes. You'll see here where it has post my wholesale deal, and you can advertise it. So you can just easily in a couple minutes, probably less than 5 minutes.
Wait. Okay. So Jenna is taking this to the next level. Okay.
I'm doing it for him, Khang.
Because wait a second, because I didn't want so that's how you JV with other people as well. Let's just say for the people who don't have the software, and this is something that we train our VA on to do. And then you happen to find another wholesaler that has a property under contract and they're marketing it on, let's just say Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist because they're not aware of the software. You can technically ask them if you can JV, take their deals and post it on here. Right, Jenna?
Potentially. So we want somebody that's going to have some sort of like an equitable interest in their property. So you do have to submit it because we don't really want people wholesaling wholesales of wholesales. You know what I mean?
So you don't want a daisy chain. So
I mean, but if they're JVing with the person who has it under contract, I mean, yeah, by all means, like that's exactly what it's for. But we don't want the person that goes on Craigslist and finds some deal that somebody's
right, and then just start
wholesale.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're trying to avoid. But when you go into any geographic area, so like, let's say that we want to come in here, I'm just going to dismiss this because it's going to keep chasing me around until I do it. But let's say that we want to come in here and let's go to one of my favorite markets, Jacksonville, Florida. And as soon as we come in here, you're going to see that there's going to be properties that will be showcased right here in blue first. And these are the ones that fellow wholesalers are advertising. Because the whole purpose, guys, of coming into this area here, this is our lead engine. This is our area where we come to try to find motivated sellers to be able to filter and sift through and be able to find the ones on a silver platter that have the look and feel of the person who would probably want to sell their property. Now, we're going to be talking about different recipes almost that we'll put together where we're going to look for this kind of a person who has this going on and these symptoms and here's everything. And that puts us with our final product of who we're going to reach out to. But in the meantime, if you're coming in here to try to find motivated sellers, there's nothing more motivated than the person who has a deal right here in front of you that's saying, hey, here's a potential deal in your area. So you can click on any one of these. Like if you're like, okay, well, let's see what's going on, with this property. Well, let's find one up here that's a little bit cheaper here. Let's play around with this one on Pineland Drive. Like you can click on it. You can do all the stuff that you ordinarily would do. If there's photos, we can kind of peek through them, be a fly on the wall. I mean, this one needs a little power washing, needs a little TLC here. But, you can see it's a property that had been actively listed before on the market. We can see who the agent was. We can read a little bit about it. As far as the seller is concerned, we can see it's an absentee owner, so they don't live in the property. They initially bought it in cash and they own it free and clear, but they're behind on taxes. So we can scroll down, we can see who they are. Again, they own it free and clear. I can see that they have some additional rental properties affiliated with them. It's a mobile home built in 1989. We can see the square footage. We would see all the financial info. So our system places it somewhere around $106,000 for what the property could sell for. And this is our AVM. This is and I hate to compare it to a Zillow's estimate, but it's a similar theory. It's what our system is saying it could sell for at retail if it's kind of the typical age and style of some of the other properties in the area. And let's see what they want to sell it for. So they want to sell it for $99K is what they wanting to sell it.
So Jenna, so this property is currently under contract.
Yeah, it would have been, yes. So if we want to talk to the seller, then we'll just, or the wholesaler, I just go to contact seller, and it's going to put me in contact with whoever is representing this property.
Let's click on it.
Well, are you going to want to talk to them? It's just going to it's just going to give me the ability to email them. So it will give me the ability to email them, and then they contact me back.
I see. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, we'd be just sitting here. I mean,
correct. So thing is, Jenna, I mean, I would be interested afterward. We'll pick out, if we have time, let's pick out 1 or 2 property. I will send them an email, and then let's see if they respond back to me, and then let's get them on the phone.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. But again, I just wanted to take that quick commercial break, because a lot of times people are like, what are these blue ones here? And these are the ones, because you'll see it pops up no matter where you go in Florida to look for properties. Any of the Florida leads in Florida, when you're looking at that specific state, will show up here. So you're going to get in front of everybody who's looking up leads in the state that your actual lead is in, that your deal is in. So it's going to get in front of thousands upon thousands of investors. And a deal is a deal no matter where it's at, especially if it's like a turnkey or something like that. I mean, a deal is a deal. But when we come in here, we're looking at Jacksonville, Florida. We see that we have 310,000 different leads. That's overkill. I don't have the time to market to all those people, and it's going to be pricey. So we have to figure out ways that we can really sift this down. Now, on our calls before, we'll talk about some of my favorite lists where we target delinquent tax activity, where we talk about how we go after absentee owners and people that own their properties free and clear. And again, we've talked about AI. Our AI is one of the hottest tools in the system. It's unlike anything else that's out there with any other data provider, any other softwares, because people will say oh, how do you rate against such and such software or whatever? Well, they don't have the AI technology that we do. So even if we were to have the same exact leads, which we don't because we have additional lead sources, but we have the AI on top of it that's taking 40 years worth of data, scrubbing it through our genetic algorithm and scrubbing it against all the current people's data to score the properties on how likely we predict that they're going to sell based on billions of data points that are matching it and looking for correlations between the current people and the previous people who have sold since the 1980s until now. So what we can do is so let's just try to target a list that we don't typically target. And this is where I said I really wanted to open the eyes of all of your followers here, all of your students, is because normally everybody's going to go target the same kind of stuff, especially if you're in a competitive market. A lot of people are out west. They're in the Phoenix area. They're all there's so many investors that are all in these clusters of areas. But if everybody's going after the typical things, do you think that a lot of other investors are going to go after people that have low equity, especially a wholesaler? Now, most wholesalers would be that's the last thing that I would look for, because if I'm going to get a property at below market value and get it under contract at a discount, mark it up and sell it for a profit, and that buyer still has the room to rehab it and make a profit, a low equity property is not going to be worth our time. And I agree with you. It won't be a good wholesale if that's the way that we're looking at it. But a successful investor can make deals out of the scraps that other people throw away. So we're targeting almost the opposite kind of a list that everybody else is targeting. And we're contacting people that, first off, haven't been slammed with 25 other phone calls today, but we're targeting somebody who's going to be very, very niched down to exactly what we want to do. This is going to be a kind of list where you want to be a little bit educated on how to structure it, but really it's not going to be super rocket science. So we're going to target low equity. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into our filters and we're going to focus on our AI. Now we score the properties 3 different ways: retail, rental, and wholesale. So how likely do we predict in the next 90 days will this property sell at below market value? So we're not targeting that right now. The rental is how likely do we predict that it will sell to probably a landlord buyer if it's currently a rental or in a market where there's a lot of rental opportunity, not necessarily targeting that today. And how likely do we predict that this property will sell more towards a retail price point and like in the next 90-day window? Now, again, most wholesalers would be like, what the heck? Like, why are we targeting that? Like, I don't want it at retail price point. I know you may not, but we're going to be able to get this under contract and still wholesale this because we're selling the cash flow of it. We're not necessarily selling the equity of this deal because they're going to be making that positive cash flow while having a tenant pay down the mortgage on that property. And then eventually they can do cash outs. They can do whatever they want to it. So let's look at properties that have a score, let's say of a 600 and higher. Now, what this is doing, the higher the number, the more motivated these people are to sell. There's certain circumstances that are going on in these people's lives that are indicating that they need to sell their property. So we can come in here again, like we have 2,200 properties. Like that may be too many for you. So let's just go all the way up. Let's go to 900 and above and see how big our list is here. So we're at 172. That's kind of a baby size list. Let's try to do like maybe 800. Let's see what we can get with 800 here. 947. We'll stop there. So we've taken 310,000 different properties and narrowed it down to a little under 1,000 properties right here that have all the look and feel of what we're looking for. Now, if you're only into, let's say that maybe you only want single families, maybe you don't want condos, maybe you don't want multifamily, maybe you don't want apartments or others kind of like a catch-all category if something's not labeled, with some kind of label when we pull it. But so now we're at 901. So these are all going to be single family properties that we already know everything about. Like, and this is the clincher, guys. Like when you click on, like we can click on any one of these to like learn about it. We can see this happens to be potentially an actively listed property right here. A 3-bedroom, 3-bath in the area. We can see that it's been on the market for quite a while if it's still currently on the market here. We can see that it has a decent, we can see, the scores are, they have the little fire signal there. But when we come down, we can see how much they owe. So this property could potentially sell somewhere around 432 and they owe a little over 350. But for whatever reason, there's something going on in this person's life that is indicating that it's a hot kind of a property that they might need to sell fairly quickly. And so when we reach out to them, the things that we will already know, like we already know that they owe pretty much, some of them will be pretty close to almost upside down on them. Like if you have somebody that has a $300,000 mortgage and they owe 280 and now they're behind on payments, and of course, yeah, they could list it on the market. They could put it on the market with an agent. Do they have money for repairs if anything needs fixed? Probably not, because they're behind on payments. So they're obviously struggling. They're going to have agent commissions. They're going to have a retail buyer that's going to take anywhere from, 45 to 60 days to be able to close on it. They don't have that kind of time. They need somebody who can come in instantly and move forward on this. So if we can talk to them, like we're going to have the same conversations with them like we ordinarily would. And a lot of times people are like, well, I don't do my marketing because I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say when I cold call, or I'm scared to cold call. Well, first off, cold calling is super fun for me. It's kind of like prank calling as an adult. Like you kind of get that like fun feel whenever you're just, the adrenaline rush whenever you're calling people. But like, I continue the conversation just like I normally would. So if I'd come in here, like, let's say that we're going to call Alan. I'd call and say, hey, is Alan available? And Alan would be like, yeah, who's this? And I'll say, hey, Alan, my name is Jenna Hoover, and I'm looking to purchase a property in your neighborhood in the next 30 days. And I looked up some different properties in the area that I'm interested in, and I came across yours. And I know it's super random. I found your number online, and I just wanted to reach out because I figure, well, what harm is it than just to call you and see if you have any interest in selling anytime soon? And then just shut up. Like, see what he has to say. I mean, it doesn't have, like, I don't have a script up. You can have a script, especially at first, maybe like bullet points. You don't want to sound like a real estate robot, but then, let's say that he's like, yeah, I may have an interest in selling. Okay. Well, what are the typical things that we would need to know? How much does he want to sell it for? When does he want to sell it? Why does he want to sell it? And does it need any work? Those are going to be like our 4 main pillars. So if he's like, yeah, I need to sell it for like 300,000 because it's a $300,000 house. Oh, really? You don't say. Like, we already know that he's going to say that. The fact is he probably has to sell it because there's something going on. Oh, really? You don't say. Like, we know that because he's on this list, because that's what the list that we just pulled. Like, we already know these things about this person. Like, we already know they're on this list of, what was it, 800 and higher. You know, we already know, like, this person and 951, there's something going on here. It has a mechanics lien on it. It's a deceased probate. Like, I mean, how much of a red flag could we need right here? Like, this is a property, like right here. Like, let's just take a peek at this one. Like this, let's just use this as a guinea pig. Like this property right here, let's go to the financials on it. So we can come in here, we can see that this property could sell right now retail somewhere around 114K. We see that they owe somewhere around $99,000, assuming that they're paying it on a at every month basis. Like, if they're behind on payments, it could be higher. Like, you know, it's not going to show any of the arrears on here, but like, let's just say it's 100K on 114,000. Once you have transfer tax, attorney fees, you have agent commissions, any repairs there, I mean, it's a break even. So what do they have to lose by letting you signing over the mortgage over to you? So let's go over here. Like, let's look here. The estimated payment on this mortgage is $622. Now, if it's through a bank here, that most likely is including the taxes, the insurance, anything additional like that. So this is our all-in payment here, $622. Let's go to the top here. We can see that it rents potentially anywhere between $1,000 and $1,200 in this market. So what if we could take this property that has a payment of $622, and let's say that we can get this property, take over the mortgage payments of $622, put a tenant in there for $1,200 a month, positive cash flow $600 a month, and that's just one. What did we have out of our pocket? I mean, really, yeah, well, if you go to move forward on it, you'd have your closing costs and things like that. But remember, we're wholesalers. So what do we really have out of our pocket other than the time that we took to put this together? And now you're selling this turnkey opportunity with the financing included, because it's included, because now, like, that end buyer doesn't need, like, we don't have to go to somebody and be like, hey, here's this property that positive cash flow is $600. Okay, well, I got to go get the financing now. I got to go do all this stuff. No, actually, as a matter of fact, the financing is included. So all you have to do is just take it over. And you can even have the seller, you can even have them as part of your agreement that they have to occupy it, or you have to work with them to occupy it before you would even move forward on it. So now you already have the tenant in there, and you could wholesale that for 10K, 20K. In a few months that would be paid off. And I mean, these people are just positive cash flowing every single month on a property. And let's look at the interest rate. Like, let's come down here and see 6.35%. Is that better than probably a 12%, 2 points? I'd probably say.
No, Jenna, we got a question from Orlando here really quick. He said, can you read that, Jenna?
Yeah. How does the data work in Texas since a non-disclosure state will have info? You betcha. We spent the last year integrating live MLS data nationwide into our system. And that sounds like an easy challenge, but it was not an easy challenge. So a lot of you in a non-disclosure states, like, I don't remember all of them. Like, I think Missouri is, maybe Kansas, Texas, obviously, but there's going to be a handful, maybe like 10 or 12 non-disclosure states. I think, if my memory serves me correct. In a non-disclosure state are states where they don't disclose what property is sold for. But now, I mean, unless you're an agent, you can see things on the MLS. But since we've spent the last year integrating live MLS data, if it's something sold on the MLS anytime within the last 5 years, we're going to pull that data. So now we can pull that information in it.
Okay. So, Jenna, then let's give this a shot. So let's go into whatever city or county in Texas. And I want you to let's just pick a city in Texas that you are familiar with, Jenna. I want to know is how many property that's currently in there that are upside down that you can target to do exactly what you just said.
Okay, so let's look at.
So hold on a second, Jenna. So just like I was new into this, can you kind of walk me through the entire process? How do I get the software? Where do I need to go? What list do I need to target?
Okay, so you would just go to King Data dot, or what is it? So you can just, or so how do you, so we have like King Data dot AI, and it's going to redirect us here to your Deals for Me Now, because that was what it was formerly called here. So you can either go to kingdata.ai or dealsformenow.com. And when we come in here, you're just going to go to Get Started. And then you're going to see here's going to be our plans that you guys have access to.
Hold on a second, Jenna. Your screen is showing, it doesn't show that.
Oh, it doesn't? Oh, maybe.
No. Oh, there it is.
Whoops. Sorry. Technical error. Okay. So you're just going to go to kingdata.ai, because AI is just super hot. And then you'll see here that there's going to be, get started. And then you can scroll down and you're just going to see there's just 2 different packages that you can choose from. Everything that I've been showing you guys is going to be this basic package, but obviously for those of you who maybe you're a little bit more advanced, you're more serious, you're more of an action taker, and you know that you're actually going to use this. Like, guys, this software is for somebody who's not just sitting there saying, I think I want to do real estate this year. Like, this is for the person that's like, you know what? I know I'm going to do real estate this year. I've been saying I'm going to do it. I know that it's possible. I see people that are successful at it. I've dipped my toe in it here and there, and I've maybe not been super successful, but it is possible. You just have to put in the effort. It's just like going to the gym. You sign up for the gym and you go 3 times. You're probably not going to have abs like Khang when you look in the mirror. But
hey.
I've seen your posts here. We all know that you're cut. But if you go to the gym consistently and you work on things, then you're going to have the results. So obviously, this is going to be more for the investor that's like, look, I'm doing this stuff. I'm investing in my whole county versus just a small area of your zip codes. You'll have nationwide access to the leads. But when we talk about that AI feature, the AI feature will be based on zip codes or your county.
So hold on, Jenna. If you go up, just so you guys are not confused, the 99, that's an annual. That's if you pay for the whole entire year. But if you click on monthly, right, it's a month-to-month subscription. You can cancel it anytime you want. So let's just say that you sign up, and you can always upgrade or downgrade your plan as well. Let's just say you choose the basic plan. You'll be like, hey, you know what? I like it, but I need a bigger variety list. I need to target, instead of just one zip code, I want to target the entire county, yada, yada, yada. Then you can always upgrade and downgrade as needed. Okay, so now, Jenna, let's just say I pick a plan. I'm ready to go. What's the next step that I need to do?
Yeah, so once you get your username and password, you'll come in here. So you're going to come right in here into your search. We're just going to dive right into the property lead section, because this is where, this is the heart of the software. This is what we're coming in here for, is to find the motivated sellers. My purpose is to figure out, what does a motivated seller look like? What are their characteristics? How do I take the hundreds of thousands of properties in my area that I don't want to market to all of them, probably not even 90% of them? And how do I sift through them and basically find the ones that have all the different symptoms or characteristics that would put them probably in a list that would be a motivated seller? And that's what we're trying to do. So if we're going to go somewhere in Texas, like let's go to, I don't know, Dallas, maybe Dallas, Texas. We can go to Dallas, anywhere you want. I'm just trying to think of the common cities that I know of here. So let's go to Dallas, and let's just see, there's 310,000 different leads in Dallas. Now, obviously, all these people don't want to sell. Probably a lot of them don't want to sell. But what we can do here is, if we want to look at things like low equity properties, or if you want to look at something that's, you were saying upside down, even an upside down property could still potentially be something that you could wholesale. I mean, if it's too upside down, then it's obviously going to be something like a short sale, which is a separate conversation for another day that we're not even getting down that alley. But I mean, again, we could look into something like that. But if we were to come in here, let's say that any of these properties have been sold anytime fairly recently. So let's try to take a peek at this one. So this one sold. Okay, we're in Texas. Okay, Texas, right. A non-disclosure state, sold on April 1st, 2022 for $550,000. Where can you find that anywhere, on any software, anywhere out there in a non-disclosure state? right here. I mean, so if it's been sold within the last 5 years on the MLS, we can see it. We can pull it. We have all the old listing information. Here's was the agent. Here was the agent's phone number. Here was the agent's email. Here's everything about it. And in addition to that, you can see here, here's what the property looks like. Now, obviously, this one may not be the most, I mean, like this is just a property that has low equity, which is why I'm saying that we want to sprinkle on the AI, because just because a property has no low equity, or just because it has, let's say it's a free and clear property, like let's take it to another area. Like let's look at free and clear. Like this is a super hot list, people who have no mortgage. Now this is kind of like the opposite end of like a subject to, because we're not taking over a mortgage payment because they don't have one here. But this is also, we could be crafty here with owner finance deals. What if you could take a deal that the owner is saying that they want to owner finance you on? Like here, Khang, you're going to like freak out with this. And I don't want to give too many details because it's still like up in the works here. But I'm in the process right now of purchasing a landlord's portfolio of 64 units. They're going to owner finance me at probably around $1.1 million on this deal. I have to put 10% down on it. And it brings in $37,000 a month in cash flow. So my payment will be anywhere between $7,000 and $10,000, depending on how I'm going to amortize it. Whether I'm doing because originally we were going to do a 10-year, but we may do it like amortize it over 20 years with a 10-year balloon on it. So we're still figuring that out. But if you have a property that you could basically take that somebody owns free and clear, that you can negotiate owner financing on, how much do you think I could wholesale that deal for? Or a $1.1 million 64 unit purchase of $37,000 a month. I could probably wholesale that for hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, really, if we want to be technical on that, which I'm not going to, because I'm going to be doing a lot of really cool stuff with that. But what I'm trying to get to you guys is that what if we take this of people that own their properties free and clear? What if we add on our artificial intelligence? So let's do the wholesale, like where we want them to sell it at a discount. We want them to have something going on, something that's pushing them over the edge that they're going to need to sell it quick, sell it at a discount. So let's throw in here, maybe we'll do maybe 700. I don't know how high we can go.
How big of a list do we have?
So, that's too small of a list. Let's go 600 and higher. Let's do 600. See what we get. So we're going to have 1900. Let's maybe do let's meet in the middle, 650. Let's see what we can get here. Again, like every area is different. Play around with it. Like, I mean, maybe we can do 625. Again, it's your area may be bigger, maybe smaller, however it may be. 352. We'll just stop there. So what we're doing is we're looking for all these different people in Dallas, Texas that own a property, have no mortgage on it, and something is going on in their life financially that's going to cause them to sell it at a discount.
Okay.
And what if we could take that property and talk to them and say to them, look, have you ever considered any creative financing?
So, hold on, Jenna. So what I'd like to know is, so you just went into Dallas, Texas. And you choose people who owns it free and clear. And you put in the AI score of 625.
Yep.
And how big of a list did you got?
352 people.
Okay, so those are the people who are what, like upside down on their property?
No, they own it free and clear. They have no mortgage. But since I put the AI on there, that means that there's something going on in their life financially. So it could be, let's say that the main income generator just passed away. Let's say that they lost their job. Let's say that they're behind on student loans, credit card payments are in default, utilities being shut off, something's happening.
So Jenna, now that I got a list of 300 plus people, what do I do next? Like how do I get their phone number?
So what I would do is I'd come in here and I'd select them all. So they're all going to show up over here in the My Leads area.
Okay, got it.
And then
hold on a second, Jenna. So this is only a list of 300 something. So which means, but if you have a bigger list, Jenna is also going to show you. Let's just say you got a list of, let's just say 10,000 people that you want to target, but you don't have the capital to skip trace all 10,000. Jenna's going to show you how to break it down where you can skip trace 100 people at a time, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, we can break our list down as small as we need it to be, because guys, there's nothing wrong if you're the only person in your business. Like a lot of times we watch some of these people and you were like, oh, it must be nice that they have all these VAs, all these virtual assistants, and all these people that are doing all their cold calls for them and doing all their marketing. Like, yeah, that is nice. I mean, it is. But I also was the one making all the cold calls too at one point. So that's where you're at, then that's fine. So pick a list that's at a size that makes it realistic. Because if you pull a list of 10,000 and you're going to cold call them yourself and you have no dialer and you're just calling them, hand dialing them from your cell phone, it's going to be, a little overwhelming just as far as like, man, when will this ever be over? But if you pull a list of 300 or 100 people, it makes it way more realistic because you can see that you're actually accomplishing something. So it's okay to start out small if it's just you. But we'll take this list here of 352 and we'll go into lead trace. And you'll see here it's going to cost us 10 cents a piece. And we're going to go in and you can save them to your database. I always recommend that you save it with whatever we just searched for. So I would put Dallas, Texas, free and clear, AI of 625 and above, and then I would put the date. Because when you save them into your database and you see all these people that you save and you're going to be like, now, what did I save that person for? Like, what lists were they on? I'm not sure. Like, you're going to be your future self's best friend. And then what we'll do is we'll go to continue, agree to the terms and conditions, and then you'll see here for $35.20 is what's going to cost you to be able to get their info. And then
hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. So I want Jenna to stop right here because I've been getting this a lot, and I know some of you be like, "Hey, Khang, it's a little expensive already just to get the software, and then now we also got to pay for skip tracing." And here's something that I want to surprise all of you. Okay, for those of you now, this may be or may not be for you, and that's completely fine. But for those of you who wants to take advantage of this is probably the best opportunity, and it's probably the best that I can do for you. So for those of you who sign up for the software today, whether you choose the basic plan or the pro plan, I don't care whichever one, what if I will pay for your skip tracing? So there's going to be limited amount of people that I will do this for, and once we hit that cap, then obviously you would have to pay for the cost. But as long as you have the software, it's going to be unlimited skip tracing on me. So let's just say you got a list of 2,000 people. To skip trace 2,000 people at 10 cents, how much that's going to cost, Jenna? Like $200?
$200 every time.
But every single time. But what if I pay for that? So now it's like you own it. Like now you have the software completely for free. Even if you don't use any other thing, even if you don't go in there to pull the list, even if you don't go in there to use, to find your buyers, what if you don't use everything else, but you just go in there just to use the skip tracing, and your skip tracing will be paid for, and it's going to be unlimited. As long as you have the software, I got you taken care of. What if I do that for you? So now that's going to eliminate the excuse. It's going to help you guys, some of you financially, not having to pay for skip tracing. So Jenna, let's show them how much they would pay if they were to skip trace a list of 5,000 people who, let's just say, who owns the property free and clear in Dallas, Texas. Okay. Or who have tax delinquents in Dallas, Texas. So here's what I'm going to do for you. For those of you, once again, there's only going to be X amount of people that I would do it for. So once we hit that amount of people, then I'll take it off. Now, this is going to happen within the next, I would say this is going to apply, and everyone that currently that have the software already, just go back into your database within the next, I would say within the next week, 4 to 5 days. Give it 4 to 5 days. There should be an update where your skip tracing will be for free, unlimited. All right, it's going to be on me. And for those of you who take advantage to sign up today, I'm going to include you. I'm going to grandfather you into that. So all you need to do is to get the software is go to kingdata.ai, and once again, give it like 4 to 5 days. And when you go into the skip tracing, you will now see that it's not going to cost you anything, and unlimited. I don't care how many you skip, as long as you have the software and doesn't matter if it's the basic or the pro plan, I'll pay for it. Orlando, you're welcome. So Jenna, show them. Let's show them how many 5,000. Okay, well, let's just go to Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, I'm in Dallas.
Everybody with 10 delinquents and see how big of the list.
It's going to be like 20,000, 19,000 here.
Okay, so imagine if you skip trace. Okay, now how much is going to cost us to skip trace all 19,000, Jenna?
All right, let's do it. I love having your credit card built in here.
Hey, let's go.
When you were talking, I was just thinking, like, can you imagine, like, when you first got into this, like 12 or 13 years ago, to have had something that, like, everything was right here, and then to have somebody like, and on top of that, I will pay for it, all your marketing. Like, my gosh, like I can imagine how much further ahead I would be today had I had something like this 12 years ago when I got into real estate.
Well, but, the more I talk to Jenna, the more I like her sense of humor. How much is it going to cost, Jenna?
$1,920. Sorry about your credit card, Khang. I'm placing it.
Listen, so for those of you, right, if you were going to use any other skip tracing software, just a skip trace, 19,000 address, it would have cost you $1,000. But once again, now what if that is completely for free? What if someone paid for that skip tracing and you don't have to worry about it? And guys, family, you're welcome. And that is the best that I can do for you, okay? Once again, this is only for those of you who take advantage of it today. And once again, there's only X amount of people that I'm going to do it for. Once we hit that, then when you sign up, you already know that it's not going to work, okay? No, Aaron, so whichever plan you choose, man, the basic plan is $149.99 a month, or if you pay for the whole entire year, which you will save $50, so it's only $99 a month. So which costs you what, $1,200 if you pay for the whole entire year? But once again, man, just a skip trace, 19,000 people, it would already cost $1,000. Or even if you skip trace 2,000 people. But once again, your skip tracing will be paid by me, and you're welcome. And so to me, it's almost like you're getting the software completed for free, man, to be honest.
Yeah, but again, this is for action takers. Like, this is not for the person who's not going to skip trade or not going to call these people. Like, you're literally doing everything.
Don't waste the money.
Yeah, like, you're literally doing everything for them except for, like, going to their house and getting them out of bed and saying it's time to make phone calls. So I mean, you're doing all that.
So hold on. So Jenna brought up a good point. But first, I want to address this question. Is it 99? So it's 99 if you pay for the whole entire year, which means you save $50 a month. But if you just want to pay month by month, right, then it's $149.99. But once again, I don't care if you pay a month or you pay for the whole entire year subscription. I don't care if you get the basic plan. I don't care if you get the pro plan. But all your skip tracing will be paid by me, so it's completed for free. Now, the thing I don't want you to do is, like Jenna said, don't go in there and waste people's money now. Don't go in there and freaking sign up for the plan and then start pulling 25,000 leads, skip trace the lead, cost me money, but you ain't going to do shit with it, okay? So don't do that. So now, Jenna, let's just say that we got the 19,000, we skip traced already. So when you call these people, let's also give the people some tips on calling and talking to that person.
Yeah. So usually the way I look at it is if anybody has gotten a telemarketer call, the thing that they go through our brains are, who are you? How did you get my information? And what do you want? Like, that's usually the things that goes through my brain. So what we want to do is craft a little elevator pitch that's less than a minute, probably under a minute. This answers exactly that. And that's pretty much what I explained to you guys. So I'll call somebody, like, let me share my screen here. So I'll just show you just anybody's name here. So let me pull somebody up here. So I'll call Maria. So let's say she's on my list here of 19,000, and I'll say, hi, is Maria available? And she'll say, yeah, who's this? And I'll say, hey, Maria, my name is Jenna Hoover, and my team and I'm looking to purchase a property in your neighborhood in the next 30 days. Now, I came across a couple properties that really matched what I was looking for, and your property is one of them. and I got your phone number online, and I know it's super random, but I just wanted to reach out to see if you would consider receiving an offer on your property. And just be quiet. Like, again, yeah, a lot of people are going to say no because they don't know who we are. But in that few seconds, we answered the question of who am I? What do I want? And how did I get their information? Like, for whatever reason, people in today's world, like back in the day when everybody had a phone book delivered to your front door and everybody had everybody's phone numbers, we were totally okay with that. But fast forward 30 years later, when we have the world of the internet, everybody's like, how did you find me? How did you find me? I don't know, the internet. Like, I mean, that's how you can find people these days. So, I mean, so that's usually what I'll say. I'll say, hey, this is Jenna. You know, my team and I are looking to purchase a property in your neighborhood in the next 30 days. And I came across your property and I figure, you know what harm is it than just to reach out? I got your number online and I just wanted to see if you have any interest in selling it. And if they say no, then I usually say, is it no for now or no forever?
Hey, I like that.
And we'll giggle, we'll laugh
That's a good
together.
one.
And then, you know, they'll say, well, maybe not, you know, like the thing is, guys, like this is where you have the upper hand is we're pulling lists of people that we already know their situation. Like right here, these people are in some kind of tax delinquency. Maybe, go ahead.
Yeah, Jenna, I'm going to let you finish what you wanted to talk about. But the next thing I want you to do is Jose asking about like, hey, you know, driving for dollars virtually. It's definitely something that we haven't really touched base on. So I also want you to show them that feature as well after this.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, but the thing is, guys, whatever list we're pulling, we're already going to know the kind of person. Like if you're pulling a list of people that are upside down, we already know that they don't have equity in it. But we also know if we're throwing in something like pre-foreclosure, we also know their whole story. We know that they're behind on payments. We know that they're going to have to sell or the bank is going to take it. If you're targeting somebody who is low equity but has a high AI score, we're going to know that they're going to need to sell, but we already know that they don't have a lot of equity. So we already know and we're knowledgeable about ways to craft these deals. But as far as driving for dollars, are you referring to the app? Is that what you're meaning, Khang?
You're correct. But okay. I know that with this, we can also do it, right, Jenna?
Yeah. So if you guys, when you have your account set up, you'll be able to scan this little QR code. And then you'll be able to get our Driving for Dollars app. And then what you'll do is, I mean, it's very simple. You'll just go in there, you'll create a username and password. It can be a different username and password, or it could be the same one that you're using to log in here to your King Data account. And then what you'll do is you'll create that password, the username and password. You'll come in here, you can just click on connect account, and then you'll put in that username and password. And now it has merged your desktop with your actual Driving for Dollars app. And so when you're driving around and you see a place, it's looking at where you're at geographically, and then it will suggest that property to you. And then you can save it into your dashboard here for marketing reasons, or you can skip trace that person right then and there and cold call them, or you can, but again, you get your cold calls right here at no cost. So, I mean, you probably wouldn't want to pay to skip trace them there, but you can direct mail them and send them a postcard right from the app. If that's something that you wanted to do, you can do it that way. But that's to show you what.
Can you show us how we can set up the direct mail? Because I know there's people on here that has the capital.
Okay, yep. I thought we were talking about the app here. So, so you want me to show you?
I mean, if you can show us with both, that'd be great.
So you, so as far, I mean, because I can't show you an app because I'm on my desktop. So correct. I mean, as far as, but like for us to do any sort of direct mail, you'll just come in here. Like, let's say here's a list that we were playing around with last time, where we were looking at Jacksonville delinquent absentee owners that had an AI score of 900 and above. So out of that list, we had 200 and something people. So we're going to target them 3 different times on a biweekly basis, and we'll just go to next. It literally walks you guys through it. So you would have your contact info in here that you put it in one time and it saves it. So you don't have to re-enter it every time. But if you don't have a website yet, I mean, you don't have to put something here. If you don't have a company name, you don't have to put something here. And then you'll just go to next. And then from here, you'll just pick out your postcards. Like, what size do you want? 3 different sizes, or we also have a letter. So if you're like, okay, you know, I'll take, you know, this yellow Sharpie one. is my highest performing. Like this trio right here is like the sexiest trio that I've ever used. It's super like basic. It's just, I want to buy your house for cash. And the reason I love this postcard, if they're in pre-foreclosure, I want to buy your house for cash works. If they're upside down, I want to buy your house for cash works. If they're a landlord, I want to buy your house for cash. Like it works for everybody. Like it's not like I'm not targeting one specific thing. I'm not calling out anything or making them feel uncomfortable. I just want to buy their house for cash. And then my second postcard that I usually send is going to be this one right here. Let me see if I can share this. The reason I like this one is because it's very specific. It actually addresses them by their first name. So everybody will be individual, have their first name on it and the address of that property. It will have your information on here and it just lets them know that you're real. And I've had people where they're like, look, I got your first postcard and I thought you're one of those scam companies until you actually sent me something that had my address on it. So I would hit them up with that for the second one. And then the third one, again, you can do as many touches. You can do 5 touches if you want. I'm just, just being quick here. And then, this one, I usually hit them with the white one. Like you can upload your own postcard right here. You can build one out live right here. So you can upload a background image, you can put a headline, you can change all the words, but then we'll just go to next. And then from here, it will show us like these postcards, guys, they're double-sided, they're color, they're glossy, and they go out first class. And as of right now, as far as the price point is concerned, you're going to see that this is very, very affordable for us to be able to do this. Like it's like completely detached from me. So they're going to go out in a week's time, less than a week's time. And then I'm going to be able to see, here's my grand total. So I'm going to target three different postcards, 270 people, and we're a little over 500 and something dollars. But if that's too much, guys, again, like you're in control. Like if you come back in here and you're like, look, I'm probably going to need to go to this postcard, you'll see like your price point right here. So you see if I keep, tweaking it, it's going to, if I go to a lesser one, like now we're down to 477. We saved, $80 or something like that. If we wanted to go to the less expensive one, it's up to you. Or you can make your list a little smaller if you only have a budget of X. So it's going to be up to you. And then we'll just go through and we'll finish and review it. And if there's a card on file, we'll just be able to push it through and it's going to shoot it out to these people. And we sit and we wait for our phone to ring. Just that simple.
So Jenna, someone just comment on TikTok and they're like, well, Khang, door knocking is probably better.
Okay.
Well, my question to you is how many can you door knock in a day? Secondly, is how do you know that person is in pre-foreclosure, divorce, upside down, probate? They don't have a sign on there. Like, how would you know that? And then how would you scale that? Okay. And then secondly, what happened if you go on vacation? Like, can you leave your business? Like, can you go to somewhere for a month? 2 months, 3 months. And if you have to physically go door knocking, like how's that going to work? So now listen, when I first started, door knocking is what I did because that's all I knew. And it doesn't require you to invest in any kind of software or tools because you're putting your time out to go do it, right? And listen, you work with what you got and you do what you need to do. But for me, knowing what I know today, and if I have the capital to leverage, dude, I'm gonna put my money to work. Like I'm not like by the time that you start your car and just to drive, I can literally log into kingdata.ai and pull a list of 10,000 people. With the click of a button, I can skip trace all of that on Khang's Mobi, skip trace all of that 10,000, and then I can start pounding the phone, or I can hire a VA from Philippines, pay them $4 an hour. What is your time worth? $4 an hour? Come on, man. Have my VA pound the phone and they're start calling. So my VA right now, they work 8 hours a day. They have a dialer, dude, and they can call about 1,000 people a day. Now, obviously, not every one of them answer, right? But they just upload the list and they're able to go through that big of a list. I'm just saying. Now, listen, if door knocking is working for you, that's great. But what if you just add on another stream, add on another way of marketing? Like, because he commented like door knocking work. Okay, great. If it works for you, that's perfectly. I continue doing it. But what if now you got that extra money? got the software. It doesn't have to be kingdata.ai. I'm just saying it could be any software. Now you're able to pull that software, get a VA, and have the VA pound the phone and call. Now you just got your money to work for you double, right? Now you're leveraging the software, you're leveraging your money. You also hire someone to do the cold calling for you while you go door knocking, if that's what you love to do. But if I were to start all over again, knowing what I know today, I would not go door knocking. I just think it's a waste of time. I would have just rather leverage it, get the software, skip trace it, pound the phone, or if you got the capital, set up the direct mail, send out your marketing, and just sit back and just wait for the people to call you. Listen, if you have the capital, it will make your life easier. Because you can literally go on here and let's just say you pull a list of 5,000 people that's vacant. How long is it going to take you, dude, to drive around the whole entire states to find 5,000 vacant houses? With this software, Jenna, let's show them how easy it is to pull up in Dallas, Texas. Let's see how many vacant houses in Dallas, Texas. Watch how quick and easy this is, okay?
All right, let's do that.
And I can literally go on there. I get a list of vacant property, skip trace, and then if you wanted to, I'll send out postcard, and I'll just sit back and wait. Now it becomes a fishing game. Direct mail is actually really, really good, and it works. But it costs a lot because every postcard that you send out costs about 15 cents. So for you to send out 1,000 postcards, it's going to cost you roughly what? 50 cents, $500. But it becomes a fishing game, which means you're not calling them. You're sending out your postcard. They got your postcard, and they decide to call you. And you just go on your day, man. Do your thing. Let's just say you're busy at the J-O, the B. Dude, you wait for the incoming call. They leave you a voicemail. You listen to the voicemail, and then you call them back. Now they're reaching out to you, not you reaching out to them. If I got the capital, I would rather do that. Just saying.
So before you even finished your sentence, I already had the list pulled for you. So you just would go into your area, go to vacant, and we have 6,259. But just to go back to the person, I wasn't sure who it was that talked about the driving for dollars, but you can use the system for that too. So let's say that you're driving around and you found an address. So let's say that you're driving somewhere and you're like, okay, I found this one, property. I want to know a little bit about it. You throw the address in here. See how you can search just for one address at a time. So let's say that you click on this and then you're learning about it. You saw this house, you were driving by it. It looked completely vacant. And you come in and you're like, okay, well, this is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, a little under 2,000 square foot house. I see that it is, owned by this guy, Larry. I see that it was built in 1918. Again, a 4.2, a third of an acre of land. I see that he owes somewhere around $69,000 on a house that could sell right now, retail around $312,000. I can come in here, see how much he paid for it, when he bought it, what his mortgage payment is, everything about him. And then, of course, if you're able to skip trace him at no cost, now you can literally take the list that you just drove for dollars for, throw it into the system and get their numbers at no cost and call them all. Like, this is going to be a completely different lead source. Like, this is another marketing avenue that you guys can get into. It is all based on your budget. Like, if you don't have the budget to do a $500 direct mail campaign, or even in the past when you had to pay for skip tracing, if you're like, look, I can't skip trace for $100 on this list of 1,000. Like, I have, like, a lot of my friends, a lot of us, we have teams that can cold call anywhere between 800 and 2,000 people a day. If you're calling 2,000 people a day, if you have VAs or a team that's calling 2,000 people, that's basically $200 a day that you would be spending on skip tracing. If you don't have to spend $200 a day, like, that's $1,000 a week. That's $4,000 a month that you're saving just by having this version of the software that was never, ever offered to you guys before.
Hey, Jenna.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to answer this question really quick from Alex, because it seemed like Alex just joined us live here on YouTube and actually said, what's the name of the skip tracing software? So, Alex, the one that Jenna and I have been talking about since like January, man. And listen, I've been in the game for 12 years. Jenna been in the game for over 11 years. We're both real estate investors. Jenna is very successful in her own way. And I can tell you, dude, I've used a lot of different software. And this is the one that we're currently using right now that I think is absolutely the best compared to any other one that is out there. Now, as far as the skip tracing, Alex, this software is truly, man, a one-stop shop. You go there to find your motivated seller list. So, Alex, why don't you comment what city, what state you're in, or what city, what state you're in. Jenna's going to show you right now, dude, how easy it is to pull a list of, let's just say, vacant houses or people who are in tax delinquents, okay? And she's going to show you how to skip trace it. Actually, anyone on YouTube, just comment in your city, your state. Jenna's going to walk you guys through exactly how you do it. And the thing is, what I'm doing for everyone today, Jenna, let's go ahead and do that. So for everyone, hold on a second, Jenna. For everyone who take advantage of this, and I'll only do this once, okay? I mean, once we hit a certain amount of people. But for everyone who wants to take advantage of this, is that I will pay. So if you sign up for the software today, I will pay for your skip tracing, Alex. So you don't have to worry about that cost. All you need to worry about, dude, is get the list, skip trace the list. I'll pay for your list, unlimited. Okay? As much as you want, as long as you have the software, I'll take care of you. All right? Just don't horse around and just skip trace for nothing. Actually, skip trace and then use it. Okay? How about this one? Jenna, Oakland, California.
Okay, let's go there. It's probably, I'm not sure if it's one of those pricey areas in California. I was out in Santa Clara and I was like, holy heck, I can't believe you guys pay what you pay for real estate. But we'll go to Oakland. I'm not sure if that's a little bit more affordable. Oakland, California. Okay, let's see how many people we have here. How many properties? 91,000 in this area. So let's just look for people let's go with one of my favorite go-tos is absentee owners who has a property that they're not living in. 24,000. Okay, that's great.
Hold on a second. So there's 24,000 people, okay, who is absentee owner in Oakland, California, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Jenna.
And I mean, if you have the ability to list stack, let's throw on vacant at the same time. Let's see what we get here.
So listen, for those of you who wants to do list stacking, like what Jenna's doing, which means she's now saying, hey, I want everyone that's in that area that is absentee owner, right? Which means they don't live in the property. But then you also tacking on what else, Jenna?
So I'm looking at the absentee owners and I threw on vacancy at the same time.
Okay. So vacancy, so you can only list stack if you sign up for the pro plan. Okay, the basic plan does not have that feature. Just an FYI.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's just one of the perks of the more advanced package. But again, it's for investors that are doing higher level deals and things like that. And so we have 447 people on this list. Now, some of them are apartments. If you don't want apartments, we can come in here and say I only want single family, whatever your niche is. So let's see
how you can you can basically really custom build your list out, guys.
So, I mean, this is a tiny list, 284 people.
Okay, hold on a second. So 284 people. Jenna, let's see how much it costs us to skip trace that. I mean, not much.
Yeah, it won't be that much.
Okay.
So let's go in here again. I'd say I'd name them. Let's see how much it's going to hit your credit card. $28.40.
There you go. So to answer your question, Alex, we use the same exact software to skip trace. Now, obviously, no software, Alex, let's be honest, no software is 100% accurate. Okay, but this is probably, dude, as accurate as you can get. Now, for $28, like how many times are you going to skip trace, bro? Probably a lot of times per month, right? But now you don't have to worry about paying for the skip tracing because your boy King Kong got you. So that's why I'm saying for those of you who take advantage, I'm not doing this for everybody, but for a limited amount of people. So for those of you who want to sign up, who gets the software today, give us about, I want to say this again so I don't get a bunch of DMs here. Give us about 5 days, okay? You should start seeing that your skip tracing will be completely for free, unlimited. Doesn't matter how much, okay? Jenna, how much time you got?
How much time you need?
Maybe we can go for another 15 minutes.
Sure.
So all you need to do is go to kingdata.ai for those of you who want to sign up for the software, and then you can wait for the next 5 days to skip trace, and you can use everything else in the software that you want. The next thing, Jenna, let's talk about finding the buyers now.
Oh.
So we talked about, hey, how do we find the motivated seller, off-market list? How do we custom build our own list? right? So you can go in there and custom build your own list. How do you skip trace your list? Now that you skip trace your list, right now I'm going to show you how to find your cash buyer. But and Jenna, I'm also going to answer this one right here. Angel said, what plan do I get? Angel, I'm going to make it very, very simple for you. If you are new, okay, and you have a tight budget, I don't care what plan you get, whether you get the the basic plan or the pro plan. But if I were you, Angel, if you're new into the game and you just want to try this out, I would go with the basic plan. Okay, just sign up for the basic plan, start using it, see how you like it, and if you be like, hey, Khang, I love this, I want to upgrade. You can always change and upgrade it, Angel. But if I were you, if you're new, if you're tight on capital, then I'll just go with the basic plan. Now, if you're new, but you'll be like, hey, Khang, I do have capital to pay, but I want bigger lists, like you already know what you want, then go with the pro. But once again, Angel, I'll make it simple for you, so for easy for you to decide. If I were you in your shoes, I would just sign up for the basic plan, okay? And I don't care if you go with the basic or the pro, right? I will pay for your skip tracing, okay? So you don't have to worry about that. But I will sign up for the basic plan and then go and then try that out for a while. And then afterward, you can decide if you want to upgrade or continue with that, or you can just disconnect. You can either sign up for the whole annual. Hey, so Jenna, can you go up if they want to? So this Angel, that's if you pay for the entire year. So you pay for the entire year is only $99, which means you save $50 a month. If you just like, hey, I don't know if I'm going to be using it the whole entire year, then just sign up for the monthly. $149 month to month, same thing. As long as you have the software, Angel, I will pay for your skip tracing unlimited. So if you want to go in there and you want to skip trace 25,000, it would have cost you over $1,000. That, Angel, completely for free. So for me, it's truly a no-brainer. It's almost like you're getting the software for free if the skip tracing has already been paid for. All right, Jenna, let's go ahead and show them how to find the buyers.
All right, let's do that. Okay, let me share this. Okay, so let's say that we're in Oakland now. So let's go back here. Okay, so let me go back and add all the different kind of properties here. So let's select them all. Okay, so, all right, so we're going to come in here. We have 92,000 people, 92,000 properties. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for the cash buyer.
Jenna, I'm so sorry to interrupt again. So Angel said just sign up for the $99 a month. It said $1,100 and per month. That is correct. So basically, Angel, when you decide to choose the monthly plan or the annual plan, so you would pay the whole entire amount up front. And that's why they are willing to give you a discount, because they know that you have skin in the game, right? And they know that you are committed, right? And that you are going to use the software. And that's why they reduced the price by $50. So you would have been, so this is how much you save, Angel. So 50 times 12, you would save $600. So yes, so you would be billed for the whole entire year. So your next payment, Angel, will be January 23rd or whatever today is of 2026. And if I were you, and if you're serious and committed to this, Angel, if I were you, I would just, I would rather save that $600, pay for the whole entire year, not worry about it, got my skip tracing all taken care of, and then you don't have to worry about the monthly bill. And then just, now that you got this covered, all you need to go in there and just focus on pulling the list, skip tracing the list, and putting in the work. Just my personal opinion. Go ahead, Jenna.
Yeah. So you guys, like whenever you have your area that you just marketed to, and you're looking for deals and you get them under contract, then you'll just come into that geographic area and then you'll select in here. Everybody has access to this lead type. You'll just go to cash buyers. So it's going to show us that there's 12,832 people that bought a property in cash in this area. And that's great, but it's overkill. I don't care about the husband and wife that bought their property in cash. All I care about is fellow businesses, LLCs that are like me, that are buying houses recently as a business. So I'm going to come in here under the ownership info and I'm going to select business, because this will weed out a lot of them, because I'm not looking to contact the regular homeowners. I just want people that are an established entity. And then what we'll do is we'll come down to the previous sell info and let's look at something more recent. Like let's just look at the last year. And depending on the size of the list, like this one is 105. Like I would stop here. I mean, this is even a small list here. But this
Solid,
is
yeah.
basically saying there's 105 people in businesses, LLCs, investors that are like you that are buying houses in cash in this area of Oakland. So
Hey,
we can,
Jenna, I want to add something really quick here. You guys know how long it took me when I first started that I didn't have this kind of software to leverage? You know how long it took me to build up 100 people cash buyer? Dude, it took me a long time. I was networking. Now imagine if you decided, hey, I want to wholesale in a different state. So let's just say that you have, maybe you have like dominate your market, and now you want to go into another state. Now you'd be like, oh man, I have to build my cash buyer list all over again. This make it so simple. That's why with this software, you can literally go in any city, any states. You can pull a list of whatever it is, motivated seller, distressed property you want with the click of a button. Okay. With the click of a button, you skip trace, cost Khang money. All right. That's why I said skip trace only the one that you want, not the one that you don't need. And then once you got the seller under contract, boom, you go in here, you market it out to hundreds of thousands of investors. All right. So it's just like putting your deal now on Facebook Marketplace. Okay. And now you're putting it on this software, which is you're targeting real solid, people who are actually investor. And then you can also go in here and build your own cash buyer list within minutes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jenna.
Yeah. So of course, like here we are with our list. And most of the time we would be like, okay, now I have to pay to skip trace these people to reach out to them. But obviously,
there we go again.
but obviously we don't have to. So we would have all these people's contact information now at no cost to us. So now all you would have to do is just start reaching out to them. You're going to get their name, you're going to get email addresses, and you're going to be able to just start marketing your deals, start pushing your deals out to them, or reaching out to them even before you have a deal. And I mean, because there's two different versions of wholesaling. There's regular wholesaling where you get your deal and then you find your buyer, or reverse wholesaling, which is where you have your end buyer and then you kind of customize your marketing to suit the needs of that buyer, that serious buyer that's out there. So if we start reaching out to these people, like, especially if you're brand new and you're like, oh, I'm a little nervous to talk to these homeowners, then start out with talking to buyers, cash buyers, because they're fellow investors that are just like you, and get your feet wet with cold calling these people. And then you call them like White Family Properties LLC. They probably know a little bit about real estate too. Go ahead.
Sorry. I feel so bad for keep interrupting Jenna, but I want to make sure that everyone that's want to take advantage of signing up and getting their skip tracing paid by me, all their question answered before I log off here. Raphael said, if I can get the basic year plan, do I get the discount price when I upgrade to the pro? Yes. Right? So does that make sense to you? So you're saying if I get the basic year plan, okay, yes. And then if you ever decide to upgrade, they will work out the discount and you only pay the difference, right, Jenna?
I mean, I'm not quite sure what all so if they start out with the basic and then they want to eventually go to pro, then
correct. So Jenna, I think what he's saying is, hey, what if I want to sign up for the basic plan, but I want to pay for the whole entire year because I want to save $600 because it makes total sense, right? Which is a good choice. Now, and if you ever, and later, what if I want to go from that basic to the pro and you want to pay for the whole entire year? Yes, I think yes, they would take out whatever the price difference is, and you only pay for the price difference based on the discount you pay for the whole entire year.
They could probably figure that out. I mean, that'll be too difficult for them. I mean, it just may be just kind of a manual thing that they put together, but I mean, there'd be no reason why they couldn't do that.
Yeah. So, Raphael, if you ever decided to do that, and listen, if you guys have any question or concern when you go into the software using it, their support is dang good. Okay. At the bottom of the site, you should find a couple different phone numbers. Just give them a call, right? They're billing department, whatever it is, they should be able to handle and get you taken care of very, very quickly. And that's the one thing about me, Jenna. When I sign up for like different software, the biggest thing for me that keeps me using it is their support. Like if I don't get it, like if I go in there and it gets frustrated, if I have to wait for a day or 2 days for them to get back, I'll be like, dude, this is not cool. But I'm telling you that they're working on getting more people on, more support on. just to make sure that they'll be able to answer any question that you guys got and get everything resolved as quickly as possible. John got a question. So after skip tracing the list, what does the list go under? Jenna, can you talk about that?
Yeah. So so ordinarily what's going to happen is you can save them into your database. And then when you save them into your database, the phone number is going to be carried over with it. And then that way you're going to be able to call them right from your CRM, right from your list, if that's how you want to do it. But however when you save them, if you put that little tag of whatever kind of list they were on is how you would kind of identify them. So that's why it's important to make sure that you put that tag of what kind of list they came from.
Okay. We're running out of time. Okay. So I got to bounce. First off, I want to say, Jenna, thank you so much for being on here. And once again, Jenna's time is extremely valuable. So I appreciate her every single time when you jump on to do this for me. She's a go-giver because she was once in your guys' shoes, right? In my shoes when we started out. So we know what you guys are going through and trying to give as much value and help you guys out as much as possible to kickstart your 2025 and become the most badass real estate investor out there. And I want to make this final call here. Okay. So for those of you, once again, who wants to take advantage, all right, to sign up for the software. If you already have the software, if you already currently have the software, give me about 5 days or so. The team, they're working behind the scenes. They try and do whatever they can to upgrade. So 5 days later, you'll be able to go back to your software and you'll be able to now see that you have unlimited skip tracing completed for free because your boy King Kong got you and is taking care of that. It's paying for that. Now, for any one of you, okay, who signs up today, and now I can only do this for a limited amount of people. So if you want to sign up today to take advantage of it, but the free skip tracing is probably going to come into effect, let's just say in the next 5 days or so, okay? So if you want to sign up, lock in your spot, okay, so you can go on there, pull the list. You can still pull the list. You can still find the buyers. You can still do all of that. But then 5 days later, just know that your skip tracing will be paid by your boy King Kong. And I only do this for X amount of people. So for those of you who's able to make it on the list and got in on the software, I want to say congrats. I look forward to seeing you closing your first deal, leveraging the software. I hope to, hear some good news from you, that you're making a boatload of money. Jenna, you have anything to say before we wrap it up?
Nope. Just till next time.
Until next time, Jenna, let's go get this.
Get that, what do you call it? The Monet.
Monet. Bye, guys. Bye, Jenna.
See ya.